What is up, beautiful family?
Hey
We are
guys.
headed to a video where someone, I don't know if this is American or it got to be an American, but this is their first time visiting a UK hospital. And we've heard about how their healthcare system works. Like, majority of y'all get free stuff and don't got
You
to
don't
pay
have to
for it.
sell anything.
So the curiosity is going to be what type of treatment, honestly, like how is it treated,
Yeah.
obviously, because sometimes free is not great for, at least for Americans. That's, we know when something free, sometimes it ain't the greatest thing. So
Let's
I'm curious to know, yeah, what it is. But before we dive in, our link to all of our other channels down below if you just can't get enough of us. Also, hit that subscribe if you're new, like, notification bell. Let's dive in.
Hey Evan,
Hello.
what time is it?
Time to go to the hospital. Hi, I'm Al Mills. I'm not Anger. And you're probably wondering how I wound up in this situation. Well, before you can understand this, I'm not squirming under pain. It's just uncomfortable.
somewhere
What
else.
that makes it somewhere else. I think it's time we go all the way back to the beginning. So I was born July 29th. No, the whole thing kicked off last Friday. I was minding my own business, editing some travel vlogs that still haven't seen the light of day thanks to this, and all of a sudden, my stomach just started to hurt. It came in waves, and it was just this really gross, uncomfortable, squirming pain that wasn't too bad, but was enough that just made me go like, ugh. It felt like my insides were full of spaghetti, like a big bowl of spaghetti that someone was whooshing all around. Also, I realized that I was really hot, covered in sweat, like I was coming up with a fever, but then also was shivering. I didn't know what was going on. I had something like this happen a year ago, so I kind of went, I hope this isn't happening. I'll go to sleep early. So I went to sleep. Woke up in the morning, still pervasive. However, this was a Sunday, and I haven't missed a Sunday upload in so long. And so, I edited through this weird pain, filmed a couple bits. Everyone really liked the video. Thank you very much for all the support. Very much appreciated. However, on the third day when I woke up, still in pain, except this time the pain was progressively worse, I realized I should probably find out what to do about this. It's just, my thought had been, I've been through worse. This time last year, I had a very similar type of thing, except the pain was excruciating, like right from the get-go. Lasted a week, I was like screaming in pain, and the doctors told me, it's just a bug. So I'm thinking, what could this be? It's probably just a bug, just stay at home. So I rang up 111. If you guys don't know, 111 is the UK's national free health line run by the NHS, and it's great.
You know what probably has to be scary for me when you somewhere foreign and you got an emergency.
No, I think what will be scary is if you got seen here and they say, "Oh, nothing's wrong," and then you go there and they're like, "Oh, this is wrong." You're like, "What?"
Yeah, I think that would be like, where do I start? Like, I'm comfortable in my place, like where we from, to go, oh, that's hospital, that's where you go.
Yeah.
And then you somewhere, you're like,
Like, how do you know essentially what's a good hospital? Because some people be like, "Oh no, that's not a good
that's what I'm
hospital," or "That's not a
saying.
good
It
doctor's
has to be
office."
a scary feeling.
My mom was visiting in June. Even though she's not a resident of this country, she was able to call 111 and get the medical advice she needed and went to a hospital and got fixed. So, good job.
Wow.
Jesus, that's such a good thing. 111 are really good because there's trained nurses on the phone. They follow a specific system, and then they can tell you, most likely, what you got, and then advise you what to do. Should you get some painkillers? Should you take it easy? Should you stay hydrated? Should you go to a walk-in clinic? Well, it turns out they
that's
told
so
me I needed to
cool.
do that. Had to go to the hospital. Despite my American proclivities, I decided to finally put my taxes to use. Been putting all this money in, time to get it back out. Your boy's going to the hospital. I rock up to an incredibly crowded waiting room. There
like
are
how this is all
literally
video, too.
three
Like, he vlogged.
different children crying in different areas around me. It's like a surround sound system of pain and suffering. And so as I'm sitting there squirming in my pain, I'm kind of thinking, maybe it's not so bad for me. I'm trying to
not look
humble
like he's in
myself and be
pain.
like, there's probably worse situations. It made it even more real for me because after 5 or 10 minutes of just sitting in the waiting room, a nurse came through the doors and said, sorry guys, it's gonna be another hour or 2 hour extra wait because we just had 3 emergencies rushed to the back. Which is always like horrifying because it's like, those people are clearly worse than me, which was my thought. However, the amount of people there that were like yelling and complaining to the nurse, like, what is she gonna be able to do for you? She's just a messenger here. Someone's like, this is unacceptable. I'm getting private next time. And I'm like, all right, Tori, let's call. You're here and you can afford private.
Tori?
Get out! Someone, as they decided to leave the doctor's office, that I guess didn't necessarily need to be there, left saying, this is unacceptable and unfair. You know what else is unfair? Probably get hit by a car. Okay, that's my soapbox. I'm sitting there in pain and hoping that I don't have anything bad happen to me, but I'm like, I'll just take this L and wait an extra hour. Let's try and get more fun into the NHS though, am I right? Please. So I registered at the front desk. Luckily, 111 had given all my information already and what I had said on the phone, so I didn't have to worry about that. I sat down, waited, learned a little bit of Spanish, and after 3 hours, after also, by the way, they had a vending machine that had a meal deal in it. A meal deal vending machine. They live in luxury in this hospital. After the 3 hours, I was finally seen. I went in and I was like, okay, nurse, here's the situation. Also, here's my piss. You see, this is actually one of the few acceptable times to offer a woman your piss. Otherwise, you're in trouble. I did have urine trouble. But she does a quick check of me, does the pulse, does the old stethoscope and all that doctor nonsense. And she was like, well, you got appendicitis. My stomach drops because I have appendicitis.
And
but
you
also,
waited
what?
3 hours?
What? You mean when we get in all that trouble with the cop, but he can't write us a ticket because he doesn't have appendicitis? That pun was sick.
Where is he getting these jokes?
What? I can't believe this. I can't believe this has happened to me. What am I meant to do? And she was like, don't worry about it. Fun fact, 70% of people that get appendicitis, it heals on its own. Just take some codeine, prescribe, bam, have a nice day. I'm thinking, what?
I thought they had to remove it.
I've never heard this in my life.
Never.
Appendicitis, you got 2 options. You remove your appendix,
Yeah.
or you die when
Yeah.
it ruptures. Like, that's it. Okay, there is no pass and go and collecting your codeine $100. That's not how it works. But she was like, yeah, it happens all the time. Little poop gets stuck in your little appendix bit, it gets inflamed, and 70% of the time, it heals on its own. Don't worry about it. Take this codeine, takes care of your pain. Don't know why I'm from the Bronx. Get out of here. Forget about it. As she sent me out, she was like,
What?
if it gets worse in the next 24
remove
hours,
it, yeah.
you need to come back to the hospital. And I was like, okay. Praying to be that 70%, but that is not a good probability, okay? That is too slim for me. I went home, popped a cup of codeine, and I was fine. Who was sick? Not me. No more spaghetti in my stomach. No way, no how. I feel great.
Psych.
I had a little bit to eat. I'm feeling fine. I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed and sleep this off. It'll all be gone in the morning.
He going back.
I'll wake up, hot sweat. Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. It's only 1 in the morning. I thought it was 6. I literally thought I was gonna hurl off the side of my bed because I had such intense nausea as I'm like drenched in sweat. And I'm like, oh, the pain is like killing me. And I'm like, this is
Go
it.
back in.
This is where I die. As I lean over my bed to throw up, I'm like, no, not on my new laptop. Move it out of the way. I didn't end up having to throw up, and I was like, at this point, I'm calling out. Anyone help me? Everyone's asleep. It's 1 in the morning. Just kidding. I live in a house of YouTubers. Everyone's being rambunctious. I do what I do best. I don't know what to do. A tweet about it. In this part of my night where I literally thought I might die because
You're
it's
tweeting?
1 in the morning, the codeine should still be in my system, and yet I'm feeling intense pain. It's going through the codeine. I'm terrified. I'm thinking everything ruptured down there,
Go
and this is
in.
it.
Right.
And when I tweeted out, what should I do? You guys kind of unanimously said the same thing. Oh my God, go back. At this point, I got a phone call from my
You have
good
to get
friend Dodie, who
confirmation.
was like, Evan, you were going to the hospital. And I was like, I don't know. I was just there today. And she was like, I'm going to take you to the hospital whether you like it or not. And so she literally Ubered to my house. I called 111, set things up. They were like, yes, please come back. We organized it with the next hospital, and we Ubered on the way
Hey,
there.
Evan,
Hello,
what time is it?
time to go to the hospital.
Well,
This is a video before I took a piss in that
You
little
can
tiny
come back.
bit.
As I got out of my first Uber, hobbling over, holding my stomach as it lurched in pain as I'm now walking around with this freaking spaghetti swirl going around in my stomach. Look, it's a beautiful hospital. Quite a beautiful hospital indeed. There was only one problem.
Dodie has taken me to the wrong hospital.
I'm so sorry. They have the same name.
I mean, it can't be no bad. He already done wasted time anyway.
Right,
So
right. He's not in that much pain.
he went to Twitter to get confirmation, so you got time, bro. You good.
Don't. One's called Hammersmith, one's called Charing
Yeah, but
Cross.
what? Charing Cross is in Hammersmith. It doesn't make any sense.
But it's still called Charing Cross.
Then we were back on the road.
Back in an Uber, going the right way. Pain is coming in stronger waves. Very, very bad.
Soon the baby will come.
What? The baby will come. Yeah, people have been like, oh, it's like cramps. I'm like,
It's just the way you're like, it's coming strong. Thoracic center decided.
I heard it's worse for women to have appendicitis because if it bursts, it then leaks into the ovaries. That's very dangerous.
Oh.
If any ladies watching currently right now have ever had appendicitis and know this for a fact, let me know in the comments. I'm actually curious. That's just what one of the nurses had told me, so I could maybe not complain as much. But we finally made it to the right hospital right as my pain really started to ramp up. As soon as we got to the A&E, we're Americans. That's the ER. I ran over to the desk. They already had my information thanks to me calling 111 prior, and within 5 minutes, I was being seen and treated by a nurse. Huzzah! Almost. I told her what the previous nurse at the previous hospital told me, and she straight up looked at me as if I was lying. She was like, nah, I do not think you have appendicitis. And at this point, I don't know what to believe. I was told by a practitioner I have appendicitis, and now I'm being told by another one I don't. I don't want it, okay? I don't want these people thinking I'm just like, take my appendix out. I don't need it. I just like getting surgery done. No, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be at the hospital at all, but I'm only here because I was told to. So at this point, I'm like, is my appendix bursting?
So
Am I scared? Because the main reason I needed to go that night was because I'm thinking, if I don't go right now, this thing will burst and I will die. Scary. Plus, I just didn't want her to think I was making up this pain, because I'm literally like bending over like I'm in pain from something. If it's not appendicitis, what's going on? I was then seen by a lovely nurse named Tommy, who looked a little bit like Freddie Mercury, who then took my pulse and made sure I was still under pressure. He took my blood, did a blood sample, told me, Evan, in 30 minutes, this blood sample will all be tested and we'll be good to go. We'll take kids. So I'm like,
ours take about 15 hours.
Sweet. 30 minutes.
Psych.
So, I've taken some blood out of me now. They're gonna do some tests. That's my urine, part 2.
It is so
And yes, that's my pee, okay? It's a natural thing. Don't get pissed off too much about it.
Oh my
He just can't help himself.
I'm just gonna test my blood for 30 minutes, and
30.
then they'll be able to tell if there's an infection or something. Remember Tommy? I thought the doctor looked like Freddie Mercury.
The oddly soothing vaporwave music the hospital had on in the background was not making me feel as soothing as it usually does when it's in my Spotify
music at the
playlist.
hospital?
Here's where the waiting began, and the pain fully set in. As we sat there, hour after hour, the pain
I knew
kept
it. 30
coming
minutes wasn't
in
gonna be-
waves. It would be like 5 minutes of excruciating pain. I'm squirming all around, and then gone. I'd think, maybe I can go home. The pain seems to have, nope, there it is. It was, horrible. Dodie tried to occupy our time by playing Hangman. Somehow I guessed the first one with no mistakes. It was only 5 letters. I'm very proud of this, okay? But after hour 2, I was in so much visible pain that other patients started to ask me if I could get some pain meds from the nurses, because they felt bad, I guess, looking at my pitiful
They're
self.
like,
This
"You're
whole
doing
time,
too
I'm
much."
thinking, guys, I'm afraid. Am I supposed to take painkillers if I'm gonna be, I don't know, getting a surgery or
Yeah,
something? You know, aren't you not supposed to have anything? I don't know what's going on. They're like, you can get free painkillers if you're in the waiting room. Just ask a nurse. And I'm like, So
What?
eventually, Dodie gets up. She goes to find a nurse, comes back, and she was like, I found a girl. She was like, I'll be right with you in 1 minute. That minute,
Took an hour.
it lasted actually an eternity, because I never saw that girl again. I never
Oh.
saw her for the first time. Neither did Dodie didn't see her, and she's gone.
What?
Okay, I didn't get any painkillers. However, hour 4, we're coming around. The people that are still hanging around with me, they're just like, this boy is having issues. I'm like, just dying on this chair. We can't sleep. There's these arms on the chairs. I'm just having a bad time. And so this one guy who literally had had a heart attack yesterday goes to get a nurse who finally comes back and is like, hey, this guy told me you're in a lot of pain. And I was like,
Kind of.
yeah. And he was like, okay, I'll get you some pain meds.
Didn't come.
He never came back.
That's
My guy is going through the time of his life. Oh
almost
my.
5 hours of just dealing with this.
This is not sounding
It's
good.
the fact that a guy, even like a random stranger, felt he needed to help.
Is this why it's free? I told y'all how we are raised. Americans, free is never good. Now it's starting.
Free means time.
This is crazy.
How's it going?
The leg.
I don't know if this hand is a good idea, but it feels
Which one?
Right, because they both kind of.
Okay.
2 times. 2 times. I didn't have, all I needed maybe was some pain meds, but damn, why didn't you bring your codeine, Evan? Didn't you get prescribed codeine? Yes, but it's an addictive substance, isn't it? I'm afraid of taking too much of that. I'd already taken 2 that evening, and I
said,
didn't
"I'm
know if I
good."
was supposed to take any like drugs like that because I didn't know if I was getting surgery. So 2 times we asked for painkillers, and 2 times I got shut down. If I wanted to get rejection and be in pain that much, I'd just re-download Tinder. Shelly. As my gut began swiping left on my nervous system, the doctors finally saw me. It took 5 hours. It was now 6 a.m. I was delirious, but I finally had my own little curtain. I was beginning to be both a mixture of pain and exhaustion from lack of sleep.
waited for 4 hours because the other hospital shut down, so everyone was here, and it's been 4 hours since they got my blood taken, but they're gonna see me. But
This is
I
an
got this lovely
interesting side.
4 hours.
Tsukata. It's a Japanese nightwear.
He's
He
still
said,
just
"Take your
doing it.
things, he won't be coming back." I don't like that expression.
Fucking hell.
And when I don't have a lot of sleep, I get like deliriously high. Like I will just say things and be more punny and silly than I ever am. It's not good when you're in a serious situation.
I'm not squirming under pain. It's just uncomfortable.
You didn't put it on.
And the worst of everything is, this whole time I'm in the waiting room, I am in severe pain. Soon as I get to that room and the doctors start like stabbing me with their little fingers, nada. Nada! I mean, it comes in waves, like I said. I'd have periods where it didn't hurt for a good 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm cured. I am Jesus.
But then it hits.
And then it comes back, and I'm like, Satan in my belly.
Satan in my belly.
But no, as soon as it was time for the doctors to go messing around with my tum-tums, nothing. Also, speaking of tum-tums, not one doctor referred to that area as anything except for a tummy. Tummy? Is that a British thing? I only refer to that as my stomach, maybe my belly.
Yeah, I've never heard
Every
tummy.
person, really
Maybe
old
for a
man,
kid.
young woman, middle-aged guy. Oh, let me just get a touch of your tummy. Pardon? What's your profession? I don't know. Maybe that's the new scientific term. I wasn't. No one told me. Told me. No. Then we finally knew a bit more.
We had 3 doctors, and each of them was basically like, "No appendicitis." Your first doctor or nurse, whatever, was reading a weird textbook. They don't know what it is. They think it might be an inflammation. It might be an infection. They're gonna give me an ultrasound.
I think you just have a lot of gas.
I had to fart, and it's
And he did.
3 minutes.
Oh my god, this smells so bad.
Probably one of the worst ones I've ever done.
Oh my god, please just leave. Please. Oh god, it's so bad.
What if it is just
I had
gas?
to get whatever was in me out, because clearly that was causing me a lot of pain. You know what would have made it worse? Holding that vile fart in, okay? It was funny, though. It did literally last 5 minutes.
So what happened is, I took Evan to A&E because he was in intense pain, thinking he had appendicitis and he was probably going to die. Something was going to burst. We have stayed here for 5 to 6 hours. Evan has now done the very biggest fast he's ever done. We're sitting in this tiny box for him. The fart smell is not leaving.
Ew.
We're cooking in it. Oh my god, it's all I can smell.
That is gross.
Still in my nostrils.
Just basking.
Oh my
in
god,
it.
just get it out.
It's like in your clothes.
Oh my god.
Ew.
That's horrible.
6 a.m. Did I mention that?
At this point, everyone was still really confused with what was happening with me because the doctors had prodded and pushed and they decided it most likely isn't appendicitis, but they also didn't really know what else it could be. And so they wheeled me over to a specific area of the hospital in which I finally got my very own room. However, this whole ordeal did leave me incredibly hydrated. Every doctor that saw me kept telling me that I had incredibly dry lips, and I was like, what do you mean? SpongeBob meme or
Then
something.
give him
I was drinking
water.
water too. It's just, with the stomach bug also
not
came a
give
bit
water?
of sploosh. TMI. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help you paint the piece together. You don't need to know this. Well, I guess you do, because if you're still watching, I had to poop in a tube. I had to give my stool to a doctor. It wasn't fun. I had to shove a tube up my booty. It was not fun. It was messy. I wanted to die, especially because I did it while being hooked to an IV to rehydrate me, which, by the way, really cool, kind of, but also I just did not like that feeling.
I always thought when you had to poop for them, you poop in like maybe a container or something. A tube up your butt. You know what, Doc? I'm fine. I will pass gas. Maybe that's what it is. But a tube, I'm why? Why does it need to have a
So they
tube?
need it right then and there.
That's crazy work. That is beyond me. He's been through enough. Doc. Let it go.
This is like a freaking whole day type of vibe.
Felt like there constantly, like a fire almost for a little bit. No me gusta. Oh, the Spanish was working. At least I learned some Spanish in the hospital. Hola, doctor. Toma este tubo de mi caca. Gracias, señor.
What's on the menu today? Welcome to. This is crazy though. The fact that I don't know. I just get a patient dining. Spiced XO. They also catered for my university.
At this point, Dodie finally felt comfortable enough to let me be alone, which was so nice of her, genuinely, to go throughout all this effort to take me to the hospital, to sit with me, not being able to sleep, smelling my horrible farts for 6 hours. It took a lot. So she finally left, and I got a nice, wholesome 30 minutes of sleep in me.
Got some breakfast. I slept for like a half hour.
Wasn't so bad. Feels nice. But this thing hurts me. This IV. I don't want it. They genuinely sent me on my way, told me if I was having any issues to come back, but they didn't know what was going on, but hopefully it all clears up. And
What?
as of speaking now, hi, it's been a couple days and I do feel a bit queasy still, but almost all the pain has subsided, which is nice, thank God. But the whole process, despite its flaws and the wait times and the naff and that stuff,
That is
I'm
crazy.
still very appreciative for it. I ended up only having to spend £9 for this whole ordeal, and that was for the prescription for
£9
codeine.
in 9
I had an
hours.
IV bag in me, for Christ's sakes.
9
Didn't
hours.
cost a thing. I mean, like I said, I'm paying taxes for this. Great. This is what I'm very thankful and appreciative that I can pay taxes to, or national insurance, or whatever it's called. I had multiple doctors. I had multiple nurses. I had a meal. I had a little bed. I had a consultation. All of this stuff, all included. It was great. And the doctors that cared for me were really great. One of them, I don't know, I never expected to hear a doctor say something to me like, have you pissed in a tube yet? You know, you just don't expect to hear him just say piss. Just whips out piss. I want to hear like, hello, sir, do you have any urine? Nope. Just straight up piss. Something I thought would be really interesting to look up and find more information about regarding this whole situation
Is it
would be if I had actually gotten my appendix taken out, how much money would it have cost in the US where I used to live? Because I wouldn't have insurance if I lived in the US. I'm a freelancer. That's not how it works. And so I began to look up what this would cost. And even though it didn't surprise me, it still blew my mind.
Like
The
50?
top result you get when you're searching for how much it costs to get
25.
an appendix removed in the States is a story about a 20-year-old guy who got stuck with a $55,000 bill to get his appendix removed. But don't worry, guys, he wasn't fully stuck. You see, this guy was smart. He had health insurance. That's what everyone says, right? Oh, you know, just pay for health insurance. You're getting it. Good thing that took 80% of that way. Boy was stuck with 11 grand.
Dang.
20 years old. Are you 20? You're anywhere near that? Do you have 11 grand to just blow on? Well, gotta do it.
That's
You cannot
crazy.
predict when your health is going to fail in that situation.
That
And
is
even when you're protected with insurance in the U.S., you're just not. I'm so thankful for the NHS as an institution. I'm so thankful that I was not having to pay any of this. And if you say, like, you did pay for it over time, sure, whatever, great. I'm okay with that. Everyone is able to pitch in for this great institution. That's a good idea. And if anything, the only shortcomings of this whole situation are because of the underfunding of the NHS, because we need to put more money into the NHS. But hey, if Boris gets his way, you know, we're going to be privatizing it, making it just like the USA. So, hooray, can't wait for that next general election to disappoint everyone. The average price of getting an appendix removed in the States, by the way, is $13,000. And that's without insurance, which is what I would have to pay, which would wreck me completely. And if I did have magical insurance, I'd still be stuck with a bill of over $3,000 for an appendectomy. That is crazy. It's crazy that something that you cannot prevent, something like a health concern like that, can absolutely bankrupt someone. It's depressing. I'm not trying to make this a political thing because I don't think this should be a political issue. I
But-
do just think health care should be a right. I'm crazy. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little story.
That is crazy. I think it was just gas.
Yeah.
I think it was just gas because, yeah, I think it was just gas.
I have heard
That's
people that
crazy.
have that happen, or they have a lot of gas and they think it's their appendix, but it's just gas trying to pass through, like an air bubble, they say.
But then it's like wonder. I think the reason why he thought it was a appendix because he had sweats and
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
100%.
Because I don't think you get all that with gas.
No.
But dude, that's
I'll
crazy.
take it. I know I said
I'll
earlier.
take the 9 hours.
Yeah, I said that earlier
for
about free.
the 9 pounds.
I know I said earlier
over-
about free being whatever it was. No, I'm taking free. That way our bills, we waiting and paying.
Yeah, I'll take his over. But then again, I think I would have went personally for the painkillers. I would have been like walking, like crawling on the floor.
Oh yeah,
like,
100%.
I need them. I wouldn't have waited that long. But then again, he didn't know. So I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a real friend.
Oh, yeah.
That is a real friend. Kudos to.
But that is scary though, because the appendix can bust. So he did have to go back and get all that checked.
But my thing is, what if the first hospital took his appendix and that wasn't even it?
Well, that's why she probably gave him codeine to say, because she probably already knew.
But we didn't even know. It's like, why over here, their immediate thing is remove it.
Yeah.
If it can heal itself, why don't we get that option?
Yeah, that's probably why she said take it. Then obviously it was still going, and then you go get an opinion.
crazy.
So
That is
she
crazy.
knew.
This
They
video
knew,
is
they knew
crazy.
something we don't know.
Yeah, now we know something, but that was crazy.
But this is a crazy video to react to. Let us know what y'all thought about this one. This one was wild. We got a personal walkthrough and experience of it. So it's better. It's like somebody can tell you about it, but to see it like this, we got to see the actual experience. So this was cool to see. But let us know what y'all thought. See y'all on the next one.